Hello again, folks. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at another relatively interesting electronics kit. In this case, it's an infrared audio transmitter. And this kit came from AliExpress, as most of my kits do. And unsurprisingly, it did not come with any instructions. So I thought I'd take you through the kit, show you how to build it, where the components go and such like. We'll solder it up and of course test at the end. So if you bought this kit and it didn't come with instructions, then hopefully this video might help you out. Now, I will start off by saying I've already started this because my camera decided to take a wobbler and basically shut down. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this video. But essentially it comes in two parts. We've got our transmitter, which is partially built as you can see there, and our receiver module. So I'll show you the PCB and what we've done so far. So here's our transmitter. We've got our audio input on a 3.5mm jack. We've got an 8050 transistor, a 103 picofarad I think capacitor, and we've got green, brown, orange, which is 51k. So that's 5, green being 5, brown being 1, and 4 being the multiplier, so 4 zeros, 51k. And then we've got a brown, black brown, which is 1 0, and 1 0, which is a 100 ohm resistor there. So yeah, we'll finish soldering this up and I'll talk about it while I'm going. So next thing I'm going to pop in is the LED. So anode being the longer lead, cathode being the shorter lead. And as I said in my previous video, always worth checking the polarity just with a 2032 or something like that. So that is the correct polarity. A lot of these cheaper LEDs and cheaper kits, sometimes the LEDs are actually the wrong polarity. So on the silk screen we can see we've got a triangle going into a line, and the line, just think of that line as your negative side. So the positive goes to the triangle side, like so. Oops. So we'll solder this up, and we'll talk about where we're going. So yes, what this does is essentially takes our audio signal and the transistor and the other passive components basically amplify that audio signal enough to basically cause the infrared LED to modulate and emit the infrared radiation, which is going to be detected by the receiver on the receiver module, funnily enough. And we'll talk about how the receiver works when we get to that. Now on the back of this kit you may note that it says icstation.com. Now I did have a look at this kit on their website. Sorry, I attempted to look at this kit on their website, but they don't stock it. So presumably the fact that it's all silk screen with their logo and such like, presumably that they discontinued this project, and the manufacturer of the kit decided that they were going to continue selling it via AliExpress. So we've got 100 microfarad electrolytic here, clearly silk screen positive and negative, so we'll pop that in there like so. So in case I haven't already mentioned, this kit was just £1.66, including delivery to the United Kingdom. So it's an ideal cheap little kit for the beginner, but similarly if you're an electronics teacher or a science teacher, something like that, it's a great little kit, a cheap kit to get your students involved with. And the fact that it takes audio in on a 3.5mm jack, you know, kids these days have always got their schools and always get their phones and their iPods at school. You know, it's quite a handy little kit to build with them, and they can actually hopefully see it working at the end. So we'll pop this other cap in. This is a 4.7 microfarad. We'll just pop that in there. Like so. And that is our transmitter built. So as you can probably just see on here, we do have a little 2-pin header. We'll get rid of that and we'll just use some equipment wire to power that. Clearly marked positive and negative on the silk screen, so we'll just pop those in the appropriate holes. Let gravity do the job. Trim off the excess, and that's our transmitter complete. So there we go, there's a little close-up if you want to see the component layout. And then let's move on to the receiver. So how the receiver works is, essentially the infrared receiver picks up the emitted infrared from the transmitter. That goes straight into an LM386, which is a low voltage audio amplifier, and basically drives a speaker. Fairly straightforward. So we'll get everything separated out into the various components. So we've got caps there, there's our infrared receiver, header, we don't need that, LED, there's our amplifier there, and we're capped. So let's look at where these resistors are going to go and what we need to put. So we've got a 1K resistor, so that should be brown, black, red. So 1, 0 and 3, so 1, 0 and 3, sorry, 1, 0, 2, sorry, red's 2, so that is 10 plus 2 zeros is 1000. There we go, got there in the end, sorry about that. I'll be totally honest, my resistor colour code working out is not the best, and in fact I do have a cheat sheet as well, which is quite handy if you just want to quickly look up what's what. I'll show you that in a second, that actually might be helpful. So next one, we're looking for a 620k, so that should be a, well, it should be blue, red, orange, something like that. So we can use a cheat sheet here. Go to 620k. Blue, red, yellow, that's what I meant to say. So yeah, 620k, blue, red, yellow. Quite handy little tool there, so blue, red, yellow. Now interestingly, that looks like the only positions for resistors. So that's a cap, that's for a diode, LED, yeah. So we'll get 2 bonus resistors. In fact, it's 620k and a 1k, so yeah, chuck them in a parts bin. You might run out one day if you don't buy them in bulk. Very cheap resistors to buy in bulk from AliExpress. You can get a pack of about 600, basically lots of different values for literally a couple of pound delivered. It's quite impressive how cheap they're actually selling them for. Okay, let's trim those leads off. And the next thing we'll put in, I would suggest, would be the ceramic caps. That's probably the best option. So, got a 104, which goes there. Got another 104, which goes there. Just bend those over, keep them in position. Should always, I mean, on beginners kits, and that's not super critical, but it's always best practice to keep your capacitors leads equal in length. Let's say it doesn't really matter on beginners or novices kits, just try and get into the habit. It's always good to start off the best, with using the best practices, and then if you do follow up with this with a career, you know, you've done it right from the start. Don't think this is a particularly clean board. It doesn't seem to be taking solder that well. There we go. Trouble with magnetic snips, they do tend to retain all the cut-offs, which can be quite annoying. Okay dokes, blabbering on. Right, we'll pop the LED in again. So short is goes to the line, long goes to the triangle. Of course, if you don't want to listen to me blabbering on, you can fast forward to the end and see if it works or not. The reason I went to the company's website, let's say in the absence of instructions, it doesn't actually tell me what voltage to run this on. The listing on AliExpress said 24 volts, which I'm very sceptical about, but we shall see. Right, let's put our caps in now. So what have we got here? That's a 10 microfarads, so a 10 goes in here, and they are marked positive and negative. Again, positive is a longer lead. Not always the case. Always check the sort of shrink wrap, if you want to call it that, on the capacitor itself. White is normally the white stripe's normally the negative or cathode. Right, I'm a little bit conscious that this is running over, so we'll just go ahead. I'll show you where to put everything else now. Everything else is 1000 microfarad. So we'll pop the components in. Sorry, did I say 1000 microfarad? I meant to say 100. And all these are the same value, so we'll just pop them in. Like so, and then we've got our 224 ceramic cap, and that will pop in just in there, like so. So there we go. What I'll do is I will stop the video again and solder it all up. In fact, I should put in the infrared receiver again. Longer lead anode goes to the positive, so we'll pop that in like so, and we'll just bend it over so it gives us a little option to adjust that. So bear with me, I'll solder this up. Okay folks, welcome back. Right, that's our two modules complete. In fact, no it's not. I've still got to put the LM386 in. Just gently bend those in. Taking care of the orientation, we can see the notch on the silk screen, the socket and the package itself. And just gently bend those in. And pop in there nice and gently. Okay, so I'm just using the little speaker I used in the project the other week there last week, and put it into these screw terminals. So I checked the LM386 datasheet, and it says the input voltage is between sort of 4 and 12 volts. So I think we'll probably just go something somewhere in the middle, sort of, you know, maybe 5 or 6 volts, and see how that see how it performs, if it performs at all. Right, so that's our speaker connected. Next thing to do is to hook up the power, so we'll turn it on. It's already set at 5 volts, so I'm just going to hook these both up to the same power supply, just for ease. In fact, it'd probably be easy if I just solder these together. Not like that though. There we go. Okay. Right, so we've got our should really have checked where those wires are going, shouldn't I? There we go. Right, okay, we're there. So we've got our transmitter here and the receiver. I'm getting some hissing just now, but of course you're going to get that on a cheap kit. Next thing is to get our 3.5 to 3.5 cable, audio cable. We'll plug that in there, and we're just using a super cheapo Chinese MP3 player with some royalty-free music on it. So plug it in, we'll turn on and see what happens. And it was. I'm quite surprised. I thought the bench light would swamp that out. Let's see if we can turn it down, whether that'll work. And that's reasonable quality. Let's see if we can. So it's obviously quite it's got quite a close tolerance, if you want to call it that, for the reception, but as you can hear, it does work. So I think we'll call it at that. That's nearly 20 minutes long, this video, which is a bit longer than I wanted it to be. But yeah, there we have it, a little infrared audio transmitter kit. Sorry it's not my best video, having to sort of stop and start it and have already built half of it before you actually got to see it. But for £1.66, let us say it's an excellent little kit, and something you can use either in the classroom or just getting your kids involved. Or, like I say, if you're totally new to electronics, it might be something you're interested in. Anyway guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful, or if you didn't get instructions and you found it helped you out, please give me the thumbs up. If you thought it was absolute tosh, then give me the thumbs down. And as always, please click on my, fathead here, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And just another reminder, the competition's still open. 2 or 3 videos back, competition time number 2, still time to enter. Just drop us a little bit of feedback in the comments, and you'll be entered in the prize draw. Until next time guys, take care of yourselves, and as always, all the best.